The legendary singer George Michael once sang, "I'll just have to wait because I've got to have faith. I gotta have faith. I've got to have faith." Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to episode 215 of the Walking Leader Podcast. And as always, the Walking Leader Podcast is an audio tool for you, current and future leaders, to sharpen your skills and hone your craft. My name is David Guerra. I'm your host, and I am here to help you every step of the way. So without delay, let's get this episode started. And continuing with our self-leadership series, the topic for this episode is, how do I keep the faith in myself? Now, faith is defined as complete trust or confidence in something or someone. And in this episode, where we're going to focus in on that someone, and that someone being you. So you must have complete trust and faith and confidence in yourself 100% of the time, non-negotiable, especially as you're becoming that future leader, or you want to enhance what you are now as a current leader. That confidence and that trust must be there. So why? Because keeping the faith in yourself is critical, in that you are not, if you are not exuding confidence in yourself, guess what? Others will see that, and these others are the people that you want to lead. So if they don't see you as a confident individual, that you don't trust yourself, that you don't have trust and faith in yourself, well, guess what? It's going to come shining through. They're going to see that. And, you've got to, first of all, be your own cheerleader. They're not going to cheer you on until you cheer yourself on. So you've got to be your own cheerleader long before they will cheer you on. And that's non-negotiable. That's just the way it is. So you want to succeed, then you must drive your own success. It is that simple. And of course, there's going to be bumps and obstacles and other distractions. And these will test your resolve. And they're going to test your confidence. And most of all, they're going to test your faith in yourself. But you need that. We all need that. We need to be tested day in, day out, every day. If we're not being tested, then that means one thing. We're getting comfortable. We're getting complacent. And comfort and complacency is not a good thing, especially for someone that wants to be a leader. Maybe a bad manager will do that, but no, you want to be a leader. You want to be a great leader. You want to be a good leader. You want to be a leader that you would like to follow. So you have got to test yourself. You've got to test your resolve, your confidence, and of course, you have to test your faith. Now, this is going to be difficult because you're testing yourself, and you're going to have to understand that only one side can win, and that's the side of success. That's the side that you see as what it's going to take to be a leader, to be a great leader, to be a leader that people want to follow. So you have to work at it, and you have to work at it every day, because that test is an everyday kind of test. Every day you're being tested, and you have to keep your negative self at bay. You have to keep that negative talk. We talked about that in a previous episode. We have to keep that negative talk down to a bare minimum, almost non-existent, very low. And your positive self has to be the one on top. Your positive self has to be the one that encourages you. You have to encourage yourself. You have to motivate yourself. You have to inspire yourself. Now, don't for 1 second believe that, all of that has to be in balance. No, it cannot be in balance. It'll never be in balance, because if you have your negative self equal to your positive self, then guess what? Again, you're going nowhere. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backwards. You're stagnant. You're in one place. And again, the longer you stay in that one place, that's right, complacency sets in. Exactly. So you've got to work on not balancing yourself, but work on keeping and tilting the scale to the positive side, to your positive self. Because once you've done that, then you start building that trust and that confidence in yourself. And you recognize it, then you start to exude it, and it starts to ooze out of you. And that's a good thing. You want that to happen. Now, you must have complete and trust and confidence in yourself 100% of the time. As I mentioned, you can't slack off, because there's not going to be a balance. And trust me, the moment you stop working on the positive side, that negative side is just going to kick right in, and it's going to go gangbusters. So you don't. So no matter what you're doing, 100% of the time, whether it's something personal or something professional, you have got to have that complete trust and confidence in yourself and in your abilities. And of course, how do you get this? How do you do this? Well, it's a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. And first of all, you've got to be open-minded because it's going to test you. And you've got to be open-minded in the sense that you need to recognize when the negativity sets in and when the positive needs to come out. Work on getting rid of that negative thinking. You have to work on it, and that's when you recognize it. And now, be careful here what I'm about to say. See how others are doing their thing. See how others are overcoming that negativity. Now, do not copy. And also, do not compare yourself to them. No, that's why I gave you all that caution right up front, that caveat right up front. Do not copy them because what works for them might not work for you. And do not compare yourself because you're 2 different individuals or 3 different individuals or however many people you're looking at. And the more you look at, the better, because it gives you a well-rounded perspective of what works for some, what doesn't work for others, and you get to decide what works for you. But do not compare yourself. Don't fall into that trap, too. That's a negative trap. I do believe Napoleon Hill, great author of Think and Grow Rich, he mentioned something. If you can believe it, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So you've got to believe yourself. You've got to believe that, yes, you have the confidence, you have the trust, and you're going to do what it takes to have the faith in yourself. And you can do it. But there is a but, and it's real simple. Along the way, another way to slip into that negativity is being hard on yourself. Because maybe you just didn't have enough today. Maybe you decided not to give 100% today. Maybe you decided to give 97% and that 3% came shining through. Don't be hard on yourself. You have tomorrow. You have now. You have this moment to turn and continue with giving it 100%. So no going into anything you're doing, into anything you're trying to work with. No going in that there will be failure. Therefore, you must expect failure. Without the expectation of failure, you're going to get blindsided. Without the expectation of failure, you're going to see the negativity creep in. Exactly. So you have got to work on understanding that whatever you're doing, there's going to be failure to some degree or another. But because you're expecting it, you understand it, and you know it's going to happen, you're more apt to deal with it. You're ready to deal with it, face it head on, and you succeed. So no matter what you're doing, you have to understand that keeping the faith is going to be a lot of work. It's a 24/7, 100% of the time work. No matter what you're doing, personal, professional, it's interchangeable. It is. Because if you have your faith in yourself into doing something personal, then you should have that same faith in yourself to do something professional. It works that way. And yes, it does. Remember to keep the negativity at bay. Keep it down to a bare minimum. And the positivity, well, that's what you're going to use to encourage yourself. You know you can do it. You will do it. It's going to get done. And as far as balancing the negative and the positive, make sure that the positive always outweighs the negative, not the other way around. And don't forget that those obstacles, bumps in the roads, and other distractions are there to test you. They're there to test your resolve, your confidence, and your faith. And expect the failure. But so long as you recognize that it is a test, you're going to come out on top. And folks, we deserve to come out on top with everything we've committed ourselves to do. Why? Because that's what we do as leaders, and that's what those that follow us expect us to do. Because they want us to take them places. They want us to take them someplace higher, someplace better. And when those followers see that, and you're delivering on that, you're well on your way. So have faith in what you're doing. Well, we have reached the end of this episode, and if you have any questions, then I do invite you to leave me a voicemail at the Walking Leader Hotline at 956-720-0060, or tweet it to me at Dave Guerra, all one word, at DAVEGUERRA. Folks, you've been listening to the Walking Leader podcast with me, David Guerra. Come back next time where we continue taking the steps on our Walking Leader journey to becoming better leaders and followers. And remember, we must always go beyond the grind and go beyond the hustle, because today and every day is the only way that we become the walking leader, and a leader that is truly great to follow.